Conversations with Cliff. I'm a free thinking spiritual beast. We can keep it ratchet or classy. I'm here for the conversation.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Cliff, back with another episode of Conversations with Cliff. And today we are speaking on depression and suicidal thoughts and the things that come with both of those issues. Today I have with me Tamika.
Hello. Hi. I'm Tamika and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
And I also have Veronica.
Hello. I am currently residing in Texas.
Okay. And I have Dreka.
Hey, y'all. I'm Dreka, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, but I reside in Alabama.
All right, down bottom. All right, ladies. I appreciate y'all joining me today. I know this is very serious and touchy subject, but I really appreciate y'all coming on and sharing your story. So first, I just want to ask, can anybody just tell me, dealing with depression, was it something that you always felt, or is it something that just came on with life? And I'm gonna go to Tamika first.
I would say it was something that I felt, but further on in life, other things add to it. Like you start to have anxiety, that type of thing. But it was always something, I think, from the time I was a teenager. You have those times where I guess you didn't really understand what was going on around you, or you didn't really know how to cope, or like most teenagers do now, they and not really knowing what it is, like you don't know why you feel the way you do. You don't know why you feel like nobody around you really cares. You don't know why you feel that way. You just do. You feel what I'm saying? So it's you don't really. It's never like really been a trigger, I guess. Well, I think everything has a trigger to some extent. You know what I'm saying? But we call it stress. Like different situations that stress us out would be a trigger for me. Like it could be something financial, or something I'm going through in a relationship, or something I'm going through at work. And it puts you in a state of being overwhelmed. Like you just feel like, I just need to breathe. You feel what I mean? So I think it's a progression. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I started feeling it when I was a teenager, and it just kind of progressed. And over time, you learn what it is. You recognize it, and I feel like I'm blessed that I can recognize it, because some people don't. Some people don't realize when they in that space, or what they need to do to try to get themselves out of it. They don't have that, or they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I guess from my perspective, that's the way I feel about it. Like how, and I can only speak for myself.
Got you. Okay, so Veronica, how if you dealt with depression and anxiety, how did you recognize that you were dealing with it, or if you've seen it in somebody else close to you?
Initially, for me, it was myself. And I would have to say it started like as around a preteen. And back, then family don't really speak about depression or let you know what it is. And I can't articulate these feelings and whatnot. And so she articulated it really, really well, or, explained it really well. Well, for me, being able to pinpoint it, it wasn't until the military where we started doing all these preventive measures and telling you how to identify certain things. And I was like, damn, I've been dealing with this for a while.
Right.
And it also, I could tell that it was also in my mother.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. That's interesting. So, Dreka, what about you? As far as did you recognize like having depression, or somebody else having it? Like, did you see triggers, or was it warning signs or anything, or just kind of like you woke up one day and I'm depressed, but I don't know why. I can't explain.
To be honest, it was gradual for me. Like the other lady stated, that sometimes it's from your childhood. And especially in the Black community, we have like a lot of stuff that we like real deal issues that we deal with. We were only taught to sweep it under the rug or not talk about it. It was gradual for me. And it was just basically suppressed energies, those
Right.
suppressed thoughts, those suppressed emotions, and it became a snowball effect for me. So it was gradual. It wasn't something that I just woke up and said, okay, I'm gonna be depressed today. It was
Right.
stuff, you wake up and it's just like, I don't know, as women, we deal with triggers from our past. Everybody deals with triggers from our past. And it's like a pimple. You see it come to a head, and then it's to the point to where it can go either to depression or anxiety. Are you dealing with both? So to answer your question, it was gradual for me.
Okay. Okay. So is it something like, and if you don't feel like explaining it, like what was that depression? What was that anxiety? Like what were you doing? Like it came on gradually or however it happened. Go ahead.
For
Veronica.
me, oh, go ahead, Veronica.
Well, go ahead, Dreka. He was talking to you. I thought he was talking to me.
I was talking to Veronica. I'm sorry, I didn't pitch it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What did you say, Cliff?
How did so being depressed? What does that look like for you? Like, what
As
was
a
the
child,
signs?
as a kid.
At both,
At both.
really as a kid. So where did it start with as a kid?
I was very withdrawn to myself type. Very, very like irritable. Initially everybody, oh, she's just introverted, but no, it was definitely depression. How else? I really didn't like being around people. I couldn't focus in school. I was like the very intellectual type kid, but as far as like interacting and just being sometimes like something dealing with being involved with others, I was shy away from or didn't have any desire to do it.
Right. Okay. So Tamika, what about you?
Well, like I'm thinking about it, like how she said, it just kind of depends on the time and the moment in time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, as a teenager, I think someone spoke about their mom dealing with certain things, and it was pretty much the same way for me. And like it was just like you say, in our community, we don't speak about things. You feel what I'm saying? Everything is so taboo. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's one thing to get through something and keep going, but when you have to sweep things under the rug, you don't have anybody to speak to about it, or you can't go to anyone about it, is totally different. Like it's not the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? You wear all this weight on your back while you're moving, and it just kind of, yeah, you're moving, but you're not moving in a space where you can focus. You really can't focus on anything because you're so focused on what you're trying to get through.
Right.
You feel what I mean? So, as a teenager, I definitely felt that, I was a teenage mother. I had 2 children by the time I was 19. So, I'm pretty sure I dealt with postpartum, didn't know what it was, couldn't understand it, never heard of it, never knew, didn't know any of the symptoms of it or anything like that. And as I moved on and I got older, like Veronica was speaking about, being in the military, they take us through so many preventative measures as far as our mental health, learning how to recognize what's going on and see it in other people, especially when you were a supervisor or an NCO. It was something that you had to be aware of, not just in yourself, but be able to see it in other people. You feel what I'm saying? So I was always grateful and thankful that I had that and I got that, because a lot of people don't get that. And even though, we deal with so much, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's hard to believe that people make you feel bad for asking for help. And that's what they do. They actually make you feel bad for saying, look, I need some assistance. I need some help. You know, can you help me out here? I'm trying to figure this out and I can't do it by myself. And we tend to make people feel bad. Like we make them feel like that's a weakness, and it's really not. Like I think that's one of the greatest strengths is being able to go and ask somebody for help. Hey, you know, can you help me? You know what I'm saying? Or even if it's not any type of tangible help where they have to give you something or do something, it could just be somebody listening. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to what I have to say. You know, maybe you can relate, maybe you can. I'm not asking for advice. And a lot of times people don't do that. People make you feel bad for being in a space where like it's overwhelming, like you're not supposed to be overwhelmed. And with everything that's going on and everything that we deal with on a daily basis, whether we're parents, whether you're a spouse, whether you have a job where you have to go out of your home or you work at home, whatever be the case, we all have different things in our life that become overwhelming or it becomes too much. And that's the good thing about having a partner. When you have that, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't always, everybody doesn't have that, you know? So I try to keep it in my mind at all time and make a conscious effort that, you know, you never know what anybody is going through. You feel what I mean? Like,
Right.
you just never know, you know what I'm saying? Like people put on brave faces all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like, you know, everybody is going through something and you just don't want to burden other people with, they already have so much going on. So it wasn't something that was talked about in our homes. Like you just didn't do that. Everybody got up, they got ready, they went to work, they did what they had to do, and that was that. But, you know, over time, that is just exhausting. You know, at some
Yeah, and
point you just be like, girl, I'm tired. I can't do it.
it's
You
also
know?
one of those things for our community where we do three things. We try to pray it away, we try to sleep it away, or some kind of smoke, drink,
Medicated
drink it
away.
away.
Coping,
Something
right?
kind of just
Drinking, whatever.
and we don't understand that once we come down, that once we pray, the problem's still there. Once we drink,
Right.
once we go to sleep, once we smoke, the problem is still there. And like everybody just said, it's something we sweep under the rug, and it's a bad thing for our community because we never heal from it. We never
Right.
get help. And I'm happy to hear that, you know, y'all got, you know what I'm saying, y'all seek some kind of help because depression is real and anxiety is real to the point like you don't even know that you in it sometimes.
Right.
So to Dreka, you said it was a gradual process of happening. When did you hit that wall of either, oh shit, like I'm messed up, or oh shit, like it's just like I don't even care, like it's a wrap.
So for me,
Yeah.
I hit that wall whenever I went through divorce from my kid's dad. It was just like, okay, I'm to this point. I never really, you know, divorce is just like death. You have to grieve the process. And I was in a situation to where I had to sweep that issue underneath the rug. And I had, you know, 4 small children. Well, they weren't small, but they were teenagers in school. So basically, I had to sweep that underneath the rug until one day it was like a come to Jesus meeting for myself. Because I was realizing I was just spinning my wheels, losing weight. I had to say, okay, enough was enough. You know, I
Right.
really didn't have anybody to relate to the situation because like I come from a family where most of the women are either divorced or they dealing with, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be informal. They dealing with some ain't shit people. And so I can't expect them to give me any positive because they dealing with their own issues. They're self-medicating, you know, they are, you know, just doing the 3 things that we just talked about. So praying in a way and the problem is still there. I had to realize I had to check me. I had to check me. And it was going to talk to other people. It's okay to talk to a specialist. Me, I'm a registered nurse, been nursing for a long time. And so many times, like we sit checking on people and then still having to come home and deal with problems ourselves. But we're forced to have to go to work and help people fix their issues, whether it's health wise, mental health. We become the dietitian, we become the pastor, we become the manager, we become everybody. But then
all of that.
In a nutshell, we are, suppressing what we got going on. It made me angry. And then when I started lashing out at the people around me, it was my oldest daughter, that said, first you gotta start with you. And kids speak the truth. And so it was with my children who began to help me check myself, because I had to realize I didn't want to damage my children like my mother damaged me, like her mother damaged her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We have to understand that we have to break the cycle, and the cycle begins with us.
Exactly.
That's just it. It begins with us. Until we're able to have that mirror talk with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just been, and then for women, for me, I found myself, even after divorce, basically trauma binding with people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bonding with people who suffer from the same trauma that I dealt with. And at the end of the day, I'm actually, in actuality, lowering my standards to be with people who haven't had that come to Jesus meeting, that I have serious issues and I'm the toxic person and I need to fix it. I had to recognize the toxicity in me. Not saying anything wrong with you. It's just saying your shit stink too. Your garbage stink too. And sometimes it's time for you to check your own garbage before you're able to check other people. And so when I began to do that, I realized I struggle with things from my childhood. So nobody would approach the adult Dreka. You know what I'm saying? The adult Dreka was this superwoman. She raised her children, her career, she's excellent in her career, but I was traumatized as a child. So everything that I dealt with would speak to the child in me and not the adult person in me. So of course it would cause me to regress all the way back and deal with traumas that I hadn't even dealt with as a child. So I had to basically pull those layers back as an onion and get to the root cause of where my anger came from, where the depression stemmed from. And that's the only way that you can seek real healing. Until you deal with those other issues, that buried source, you're forever you're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Veronica, Dreka just put so much in the package, and I know you work in healthcare as well. Like, how do you deal with, like, going to work and basically being a healer, like she said, being the manager, being a counselor, and saving folks, to going home and damn near drowning? Like, where's the balance, or what do you do to help yourself?
That's what you just said. You have to find that balance. Oftentimes I realized the things that I went through, like helping people, kind of helped me, but in order for me not to get too overwhelmed, what you would call a ritual, I take time for me. When I have a routine. When I get home, I wind down, whether it's meditation or glass of wine or whatever. Like, I just really had to learn to take that time. I couldn't skip it. Like, I needed it, because board of nurse is something serious. You go to work and you don't have room for error. You don't have room to slip up like that. So it was just like, I worked too hard for this license, and I'm a person of service. So it's just like, I need to be top performing here for these people, because I'm all they got at the end of the day. And so, like I said, just really finding that balance, what my needs were. How do I create that balance? Whether it was my meditation, talking to specific people, or just doing things.
Thank you for listening. This has been an A2I Media production.